3,669 AP, 5 policies, final expense in one day. I've got Mr. Brandon Edgman here to talk about his amazing day in the field and to provide you some tips as a final expense agent, a prospectful agent, whether you sell them face-to-face or over the phone, how to leverage the kind of results Brandon did, strategies to employ in your process to get great results. So Brandon is here with me today. Brandon, say hello and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Good morning. So I just got into business a couple months ago, working 4 days a week. Yesterday it was pretty crazy. It was about 12, 14 door knocks.
So when you're out in the field, a lot of agents watching this, they're typically the type that are looking for inspiration to write more business, or they're looking to get into the business and they kind of want an inside scoop at what to expect. Kind of take that perspective and tell the agents out there, how did you start your day? Did you have appointments? Did you have them pre-booked? Did you have to go door knock? What was your strategy yesterday getting in front of prospects?
So I had 3 appointments, I had 1 no-show. So normally I start door knocking at 10.
Okay.
Just because I want to start a little later. Yesterday I didn't do that. Yesterday I was like, forget this. I'm going to start out at 9 and just try to find people. I think mainly it was just I needed to get sales today I need to go out and get sales. I would say that the main thing was the fourth. After leaving the last house, it was about 5 o'clock, 5:20, 4th policy in hand. I felt like I just needed to get the 5th policy. And I had about 45 minutes before, it's going to get dark. So I had a couple I could knock on, 2, 3 more doors. And that was pretty much it.
So you started at 9. Do you find that people, we sell in final expense to old people, right? Some people think it's harder to prospect in the morning. Did you find starting at 9 that were people answering the door? Were they in their moo-moos? Were they ready to let you in?
It felt just like it was like noon, so everybody's different. Some people, you knock on their door at 10 and they're like, what are you doing knocking on my door? I don't wake up till noon, But I think for the most part, if you're knocking at 8, that's a little early. But the main problem right now is daylight savings. Then we're losing sunlight. So literally like the daylight savings is kind of cutting into your bank account for the most part. You're running out of daylight. Another major thing for yesterday was the leads that I ordered in as direct mail leads. It's all direct mail. Main thing was that I was looking for zip codes that had high amount of people that I could order in. So instead of ordering through 4 or 5 zip codes for everybody's 40, 50 miles apart, these were mostly condensed. They're mostly condensed within 10 to 12 miles. So it's very easy if you knock on somebody's door and they're like, oh, my wife's not home yet, stuff like that. You could just bounce right back to their house. That was a major thing. Last week, I was averaging 200, 250 miles a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. That's a lot. Yeah. And then especially if you're driving like that, let's say you're averaging 40 miles per hour with all the stop signs, stoplights, dirt roads, and you got a 10-hour day, you're looking at around 6 hours of road time, 6 hours in the car.
Yeah, that's true.
60% of your total workload for the day. So direct mail is a big thing. I've tried all kinds of different leads. That's definitely the leads that work. But it's not just the direct mail. It's also how you order them. Looking for like consolidated little zone where you can shrink down the amount of time it takes to get between doors. That's a big thing.
That's a good point to bring up. A lot of agents getting into this business selling that want to sell face-to-face like you, they're presented with different kinds of leads, right? And probably the most popular lead right now, and has been for several years, is digital leads. A lot of generated off of Facebook, that kind of thing. And one of the biggest downsides to those leads is that you cannot ever really target market as saturated as you could doing direct mail. You find that when you do Facebook leads, you're all over the place. And even if you're in a relatively populated area, not even like a medium-sized city, like a big, small city, you're still going to have a 30-mile radius or so, and you're going to be all over the place. And there's a ton more drive time. And one of the things that and that's good that you've realized, and this is why we love direct mail, is that you can get, even in a not so populated, an average populated zip code, you can get a ton of leads out of that and just really stay effective and efficient. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. That would definitely be some of the mistakes that I made. Was I would shop around different lead vendors, stuff like that. And it's stuff that you preach. I did all this testing and stuff. If I would have just listened to you,
That's how we learn sometimes. That's
yeah.
Okay. We need to make our own mistakes and discover them for ourselves. A lot of value in that. What do you do to get in the door? Like, can you go over again, think of the person who's watching this, maybe like, how you mean people are letting you in the door in 2022? It's like, oh yeah, like all over the place. What are you saying on a door knock where you have the card with you to get in the door?
Like straight up my pitch, my delivery.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Just kind of give an example to the audience, kind of how you do it.
So I would say mainly it'd be just not presenting yourself as a salesman, more so somebody that they could trust.
Right.
So it's very soft, very low key. So I'm like, how you doing, David? My name's Brandon Edgman. Here, because you sent us this card a couple weeks ago. You're requesting information on final expenses, stuff like that. I can't deliver right now, but
I asked one of my agents the other day on one of these calls, just like we're doing, and I said, give me the script. And it's like, well, hold up, Dave, I'm talking to you. Like, well, don't worry, but I get it, so I guess here's another way to do it. Do you find that it's a big deal to get in the door?
No.
Do you think it's easier than you would think or harder than you would think?
I'd say it's about 10 times easier than I thought before I started. So I'd say for a lot of people, if they're just getting into it, first leaving your house, first going to the first store, that's probably the hardest point.
Right.
It's incredibly easier than you think.
Do you think it's easier to door knock or easier to set appointments by phone than go see them?
I'm testing that out. I'm trying to see what I feel comfortable with. I think it's easier to door knock, honestly. Yeah. I think it's way easier to break the ice, and they can see you. You can shake their hand. You can, look them in the eye, stuff like that. They can see, you're somebody they can trust. Over the phone, it's you don't have.
I found the same for myself too. Like
appointment setting is, I would say, way more efficient.
Yeah, I agree. It's different though, right? Like I always had an appointment setter in my business selling final expense because first of all, I like to run more appointments, right? So I could have more time to go door knock, people who never pick up the phone. And I always just felt more comfortable just looking somebody square in the eye and using my natural charm to get in. It seemed to work pretty well for me. So if you're out there watching this, you're brand new and you're like, I don't know about showing up to people's doors. You hear all these horror stories and stuff, like it's vastly overrated. It's not nearly as a big a deal as people make it out to be. People are in many cases happy to see you. They're not like mad and angry at a very minimum. Very few are. A lot of these people we see in the senior market, they're lonely. They don't have anybody showing up. Brandon, my mom is 66 now. And she told me the other day, she's an empty nester. She's like, sometimes I don't talk to people for days. I just talk to the dog, So a lot of our clients are like that. So really, I guess you could say your process in doing all this is pretty much just grab the leads, go see them, knock on the door, and really just ramp that process up and try to work as many people as you can. And it sounds to me as if kind of one of the differentiating factors yesterday, when you wrote all this business, wrote 5 apps for 3,600 AP, was the consolidation of the direct mail. It just allowed you to have more opportunities. Is that a fair statement?
I would say so. Yeah, absolutely. Yesterday, I clocked it was about 50 miles of driving.
50 miles. What a difference. Wow. Yeah.
Way different.
Your car and budget appreciates you, right? So and it's a good point you bring. I have to mention this too. A lot of people buy Facebook leads because they're cheaper than direct mail. Direct mail is $40 a lead or more. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to get the $25 or $30 Facebook lead. But then guess what happens? You end up traveling around and putting wear and tear on your vehicle plus gas expense. And you're not as effective because you're not in front of as many prospects because of, like you said, all that drive time is a really good point.
Digital leads with the marketers, the more they can open it on you as far as your area is the cheaper they can get it. They're going to sell you for the same amount, but the more they can try to talk you into spreading it out, like if they want to advertise the whole county, they can get it down, and that's pretty hard when you have people 60, 70 miles apart.
There's this trade-off, right? It's you get what you pay for, right? And you're going to pay some way either way, and less conversions or more, sunk time lost, right? That's why I think for the agent that's got the budget and has the ability to get direct mail is what you always want to eventually work up to, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Well, Brandon, I appreciate you being on today. Thanks for sharing your success with us and kind of walking us through how you did it and how you wrote the apps and the process you went through. If you're looking for a home to sell final expense to, whether you want to do it face-to-face like Brandon does, or you want to do it over the phone, we absolutely can positively help you. It's very simple to do. Go to davidduford.com, click the FAQ link at the top. You'll learn more about what we're looking for in agents to join our team. Again, we recruit nationally, new agents and experienced agents. And again, Brandon, thank you for doing this. Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely.